I just wanted to. I had done a follow-up video of a project for L here, and I wanted to get it. I had issues with my audio. I did another session, but I really enjoyed this one. I thought I got a lot out of it, but unfortunately the audio didn't work, so I'm going to go ahead and just kind of narrate, do it play by play. So anyway, the folk I was asked to look. Everything looked good. Just look deeper into these three things. So these were my three. I don't know what the target is, but at this point, this is the front loading that I get at the target. Focus A, two moons, cause of heat spikes. Focus B, refractory mirror investigation. And focus C, Romanian Sphinx connection / two moons. Okay. So I get into the session, and typically, if I get anything like that, if I have to do a follow up where they want to give me some kind of follow up, I kind of just try and forget about it because it doesn't help if I think about it or anything like that. I just kind of like focus on focus A, whatever that was. So initially, I got a sense of some planetary bodies here, and I got a sense of a narrow escape. I don't know if these are moons, suns, planetary spheres, whatever, but I sense like three of them. Um, and basically, I had a sense of this. Maybe there was some kind of issue with this planetary body, sun, star, whatever. But um, I had like like slipping its axis, and like I had AOL like a pole shift. But I had sense that this planetary body of whatever it was having issues of some kind. So let's see what else. Yeah, I had polarity. Yeah, polarity shift. But notice I draw a lot of directional arrows to these different planetary body stars, whatever. This dynamic action happening here. Now, in this sketch, to me, it felt as if it was. I don't know. To me, it almost felt like some kind of almost like a solar thing happening. Um, so I'm getting all this heat exchange, this um, kind of blasted at this body. Let's see what else I had. Okay, so this is also a big part of. I've moved on, so I'm going into the refractory mirror investigation. So I had this surface that was felt refractory, reflective, shiny, or something, and I felt like it might have offered some layer of camouflage, but maybe more importantly, like some kind of defensive measure. From my perspective, from what was taking place, possibly in the atmosphere. It was like, to me, it almost felt like they were digging in, kind of a vibe. It was domed on the top. I was trying to figure out if it was like a complete sphere, but I didn't get that sense. To me, it was more just like a dome across like a vast area. Um, I had like it felt quite large. I mean, it felt like there was rock formations around, and then possibly dug down in. Yeah, so I'm getting, here we go. Plasmatic, energetic. I don't know. I just was getting like bombardment, whether it be something in the atmosphere, radiation, asteroid, whatever. But again, it just felt like kind of some kind of defense measure for the area, for the environment in this area. So now hopefully I'm still okay. So now I feel like I'm probably started to get into C, but I'm not sure. So anyway, so this is interesting. So I start sketching this. Um, it just reminds me of like almost like Egyptian, like the Egyptian Sphinx almost, but um, it it was like a structure, like it felt like an old kind of a primitive structure, but it felt like it was underneath this dome, you know, structure. Yeah. Again, so just getting sense of protection. Um, okay, so C, birthing and exchange. Okay, so this is the Romanian Sphinx connection, the two moons. That's my focus now. So I did not do any paper in between these follow-ups. I just kind of jumped into a whiteboard. Now, to me, I feel like I'm getting into some history of like how this all maybe came about. I've got this ruler type being or something. I had a sense of maybe a committee. Um, I had like this sense of like they had this initiative to kind of go out to the stars. And again, I had this sense of a committee. So I don't think this is necessarily a decision made alone, but it does make me wonder if there was some kind of like royalty and on some level. The reason why I say that is because like when one of these guys like this, I got this ruling faction on this planetary body. Once this transition was made, it was kind of a oppressive, and I felt like a more of a nurturing aspect here. So, but I also had like a prince, so I don't know. There may be some kind of lineage, I don't know, but that's going way out there. So let's just look at the data for what it is. So you have this guy talking to these people. Since they've got to move, get out into the stars. Some people feel hesitant about it. Primarily, I had a lot of, it felt like, I mean, I had stuff in the ground, but, very, like, it just reminded me of, like, old culture, stuff like that. But with all this high technology stuff. Um, so this is, I'm getting a sense this is like, I had like maybe a ship or something on its side. overall sense is like this was a rough trip, a rough sojourn of sorts. Like perhaps the landing didn't go so well or something. Um, but yeah, I just got a sense of a rough trip. So anyway, let's move on. Okay, so now I feel like, it's, again, it's almost like you're making the trip. This guy's looking out into space. Yeah, convoy in space. So I feel like there's multiple of these flying around. And it's like they're pulling up to the planet. About to draw a planet on the screen there. So yeah, just basically in a vessel in space heading towards a moon, a planet, an object. But again, see, I have this high stakes mining operation. When I did get into the, it's interesting when I got some glimpses, like some flashes of like silver and gold on this ruler, which made me think maybe they had some interest in that, minerals or something. Because I kept getting mining, like maybe that's part of this operation or it had some relation to it. I'm not sure. Or it might have been part of the problem that got him here in the first place. So let's see what else we got. Okay, this is the whole time during the session, like going through this, I almost felt like it was like the people, the beings were almost hidden from me. Like I felt like there was like a humanish component, and then maybe something else, like a maybe human kind of race or something. I'm not sure, but I did get things like elongated skulls, and I did get a human looking um, kind of ruler, but you know, maybe not quite. Like I had elongated skulls. I had AOL like Enochian prints and stuff like that. I don't know, but um, he wears this big headdress, and it makes me wonder if he's doing that to kind of hide this big head of his or something, or um, because that's kind of what I felt like if like the ruler was human like, but sees himself more like a god in this aspect of things. But maybe in his mind a more refined species in some way. But again, like maybe a larger head, but otherwise human looking. So, and then during this sketch, I'm getting a sense of like almost like something being built in his honor type of thing, or things being so. And I had a sense of in history, it reminded me of like the like ancient Vedic stuff, and I had hermetic, a lot of hermetic stuff, but basically reminded of like the Brahmas or whatever, like the old like these basically look like spaceships in old architecture and history, and we didn't, we couldn't verify that, but it's what kind of what it reminded me of is like they're flying around him. Okay, this is the big picture I'm getting. Like they're flying around him, and there's a structure, there's a rounded structure that I draw later on that to me felt like it was kind of built in homage to these, um, to these, flying vessels. Best way I could describe it. So I don't know if that was target related or what, but I felt my subconscious wanted to express that. So I don't know what any of this Romanian. I haven't looked into any of that. I have no idea that history. Um, but like I have weird like AOLs, like Fatima, Orphan Child of Mars, Children of Mars, AOL Pompeii. And as far as this guy, just giving you some of my AOLs, I had like Enochian Prince. I had Amun Ra. I had, you know, that kind of a vibe. But let me just speed this up here. Let's get through this. Yes, I'm drawing all these. Yeah, and he was really very egotistical, very, you know, like he's teaching them agriculture or something, and he's, you know. But I said it. I don't know if I said it in the other session, but I think, but like, almost like that. He didn't feel like the more human population had any stake to this, you know, but he did for whatever reason. So he doesn't seem like a very kind ruler, in my opinion. So I'm about to draw like this stepped, almost looks like a step pyramid behind him or something. Yeah, and I got a revolt, like a revolt on a planetary scale. So, you know, it comes to mind. It may vary, but it just makes you wonder, like, this guy is supposed to go to this planet and do good things, and maybe he got a little carried away, got a little indulgent or something. I don't know. But just makes me, that thought just comes to mind. Um, but again, just going from the session, got the step structure. Okay, now to me it was almost like I'm getting a sense of, you know, this architecture on probably the planetary body, wherever they settled, and maybe where it's placed in front of the sun or something. It's, you know, just kind of laying out what to me feels geographically kind of what was there or what's there. I don't know if that's the sun has some, if it's a reverence thing, um, like pointed at that star maybe that they're from, possibly. Oh, I old Gilgamesh. Forgot about that. Yeah. Um, my sense would be these guys were worshipped as probably sky gods of some kind, a primitive culture. What else did I get? Let's see, where did you put Dave? Come on. I can't even remember. Oh, yeah. So this was the. Then again, I got this like. It felt almost like a structure in rubble or decay or something. I don't know if it's what it looks like now or what, but um, the message that I got was again that this was built in relation to look like these, you know, these non-surface structures at the time. Um, because the whole time this felt like of some historic significance. Even now, going over it, you know, it's hard to deny that. Um, so let me just speed this along. I think that was my last sketch. All right, guys, that's about it. I just wanted to make sure I wanted to get that while it was still fresh in my mind. We'll catch you next time on Owl003. Please like, subscribe, and please buy me a coffee at buymeacoffee.com if you enjoy the content and you support what I'm doing. Thank you.